Neben mir Serj Tankian, den kennt man von System of a Down, aber der ist momentan solo unterwegs und zwar mit seinem neuen Album Imperfect Harmonies. Well, you're on the road at the moment with your new record. Can you tell me what's the difference for you between being on the stage with System of a Down in the past and today being on the stage as a solo artist?
Different guys. No,
Yeah.
just kidding. You know, I mean, once you're on the stage, there's not that much of a difference. You're performing, you're doing your thing, you know.
I don't know, different things you have to take care of.
I'm more responsible, obviously, on my solo tours because it's all my project, you know. So that makes a difference. But we've got interesting shows. We're going to be playing with not just the FCC, but for every show, we're also hiring 8 extra musicians per city to integrate classical players. So we've got 4 violins, 2 cellos, and 2 French horns, plus the full rock band on stage. We have 14 people on stage.
Has your family been influential for your musical interests?
My dad's always encouraged me to be involved with music at a young age, but I was not interested at a young age to play music. I started kind of getting interested in end of high school, beginning of college, and slowly started playing around and started playing music. And it wasn't until, you know, like I was 23, I think 24 maybe, until I realized music's my vision, that's what I should be doing. And when I did, I fully committed and dedicated myself to it.
And your family, do they come to shows? Or are they more like, no, we are not into that kind of music?
Oh, they've been to a lot of shows. My parents have been to a lot of shows with System, solo shows. They were in New Zealand for the orchestral symphony show, which was amazing a couple of years ago. Yeah, so they always come. My dad is very actually musical, and I get my musical, you know, kind of gifts from him, I guess. Yeah. And I also got a chance to produce my dad's record. My dad's name is Serj Tankian, and he's been wanting to do music his whole life. I mean, when he was young, he was doing music, but he couldn't make a career out of it to support the family. So when he retired from his work, we came up with the idea of making him his record. And so we made a record in Armenian, and he's singing on it, and I'm doing a few songs with him as well. And so that's really beautiful. Yeah.
And what kind of music is it?
It's Armenian traditional, mostly. There's a few newer songs, but they're mostly traditional classic songs.
And now, as a solo artist, do you see different people in the audience if you compare them to the System of a Down audience?
There's definitely I'm not sure what big of a variation, but there's a slight variation indeed. I think we definitely have more females than System ever had.
Okay.
And I think our demographics are actually wider. System's audience was, you know, there was a lot of, you know, metalheads and young guys and stuff like that, and there was also younger kids. But we're starting to, my own solo stuff, we have that, but we also have a lot of, you know, girls, and we also have a lot of older people coming and checking out the shows, and it's a wider age group of demographics, which I've noticed.
And what was for you, after doing one solo record, the reason to do another solo record instead of going back to System of a Down?
Well, I don't need a reason to continue doing music in whatever form that I please, because this is what I do.
Yeah. So that was the thing, the creativity that was coming out of you was more to the direction of the solo stuff.
I was a solo artist before I was ever in a band.
Is this the end of System of a Down now?
Why don't you go on the System of a Down website and ask your question?
Because you're here standing as a person in front of me.
Let me do this the legal way. Quote, unquote, if and when there is a decision, mutual collaborative decision on the part of the band System of a Down to do anything, whether it's playing shows or anything else, it will be on www.systemofadown.com. Until then.
Okay. And the last question tonight on the stage. What's your favorite moment when you walk on stage or when you are on the stage? These 70, 80 minutes that you play, what's for you the best moment?
I think there's fun moments everywhere, you know. The excitement of the beginning is always good, and the big ending is always good. But I think recently my favorite moments have been when we strip down the show and have the 8 extra classical players playing with the piano or acoustic guitar, something really beautiful and